This year's PRI show is so big, we're bringing you a second week on Performance TV. I'm here with Bell Helmets. In the world of racing helmets for years and years, as a matter of fact, it's their 60th anniversary in the business. I'm with Kyle from Bell. Kyle, you have a helmet for everything, from the youth to the weekend racer to F1. You have a helmet for everything.
Absolutely. We really try to accommodate all forms of racing at different price points. So we have, good products at entry level for people that are affordable. And then as you go up the product line, then we have higher end features and higher end performance.
Right, you cover all the bases, and one of the things I like about your helmets, they're very versatile. You can modify the current helmet you have with some of the add-ons that you have. Absolutely.
We've got a model in particular is the BR1 helmet that can be used as a non-ventilated helmet, but can also be used as a side forced air helmet or a top forced air helmet simply by adding an attachment kit.
You have a new product this weekend you're featuring at PRI. Tell me a little bit about this new helmet.
Sure, we've got the new model is the HP7, so it's our new all-carbon 8860 model. And the interesting thing that we've done with this is we've really changed the design of the shell and the shield. So what we've done is we've taken the pivot points of the helmet shield and we've lowered them and we've moved that forward. So what that's done as we've recessed it into the shield is it's created more surface area so we can put extra liner material so it performs better from an impact standpoint. The other added benefit is it improves aerodynamics, and it also improves acoustics inside the helmet, so it reduces wind noise from the airflow going over the old visor system.
Right, you want to listen on the radio, the crew's talking to you, it's less noise.
Absolutely.
Plus aerodynamic, people wouldn't think about a helmet being aerodynamic, but the open cockpit cars, that makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. What we need to try and do is eliminate helmet buffeting and lift at higher speeds so that people are more comfortable and more confident when they're driving the open wheel cars.
The other thing they've got vintage and retro helmets. You want a 70s look, if you got a car that fits that era and you want the helmet to match, they've got that. And they also provided the helmets for the movie Rush. Check them out, Bell Helmets.
Company that's been around since 1989, and you got to remember, they just don't build them, they race them. Bob, you guys make all kinds of rod ends here for all kinds of stuff, from go-karts to round track cars and tractors and machines even. I mean, you guys pretty much do it all.
Yeah, we've got a pretty good following as far as in the racing industry itself. And we do quite a bit in the industrial field as well.
Some of the stuff that is dealing with a lot of dirt, and that would be some of the racing, some of the farming. We can't be letting the dirt get inside these because they're not going to last. You guys are taking care of that.
Right. We make a part that's got an injection molded race. This is not just a standard nylon. We have several ingredients in it that makes this product last longer, and it doesn't require any lubrication. We have a trough that's cut inside the housing. The ball is inserted into the housing, and then we injection mold our nylon fiber around it. Therefore, you've got the steel backing the ball up, but then you have the cushioning effect of the red nylon fiber. As you can see from the part that we have, there's no wear for the grit or grime to get in, and normally that's the biggest culprit that you have on anything that rotates or swivels. Is when the dirt, the grime gets in it, all of a sudden it starts to wear, balls get loose, now it's time to change them. This is a new part that we're getting ready to come out with for the off-road industry. Basically, the way it's designed, like a rod end, how it swivels, this will also allow a small amount of swivel. Also, we go a step further. Our inside steel piece is now stainless steel, so it also resists in rusting. And this part's also greasable, so you can put a little grease in it, and that way it keeps it working free.
You guys have a full catalog. Can we see all of that online?
Yes, we've www.rodendsupply.com.
Well, if you've got a race car, you have to get it to the racetrack, and you're going to need a trailer. I'm with Tony Elliott of Elliott Custom Trailers. Tony, you can fix them up. You carry a whole line of trailers.
We do. We carry United trailers. We carry Intech trailers. We carry, Cargo-made trailers. We sell brand new Renegade toters, motorhomes, and all kinds of custom trailers we can do. We can build it to suit anybody and everybody. Whatever they want, we can do.
Now, what size? You go from the small trailers core up to how big?
Well, we can go up to a 53-foot stacker. We can do a living quarters, just a race trailer, a lounge trailer, concession trailers. We can do them all.
Well, you got one here on display. Let's take a walk inside, and you can show me some of the features about this trailer here and some of the things you can do.
Okay.
Now, Tony, as a trailer's wide open, you can customize this to whatever they need.
You know, we can. And this particular trailer is kind of set up for a sprint car. You know, we've got the trolley system up on the ceiling. We've extended the bunk on this one back 5 foot so we can put a complete sprint car up there. Underneath it here, we've got an extra room where we can put spare motors, fuel jugs, any kind of stuff we need. On this cabinet over here, we did this a little bit wider so that guys can put all their rear ends, front ends, anything in their nose wings, radiators, anything and everything in that compartment. On this fender well cabinet, you know, we've done it with 2 doors. 2 of the doors have shelves in it, 2 of the doors don't. Guys can put stuff in there, whatever they need, you know, to make it work.
Right, a wide variety, very custom. You even got an access to the roof, but you can move all that and design it with the customer and pick out everything that they need specifically for their application.
That's exactly right. We can build the thing any way that a customer wants. We build it to suit.
I love the flooring in here, and the one thing that caught my eye when I walked in here, carbon fiber wall outlet covers. If you got a race car and you need to get it somewhere, call Tony Elliott, Elliott Custom Trailers. They can fix you up. You will go to the races in style.
Hey, nice trailers, Tommy. When we continue with our PRI coverage, Tommy will get the latest from Stage 8. Stay with us.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology. Steel Rubber, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping. TS Performance, your leader in fuel economy. Pro Performance Oils, the exclusive North American importer of Miller's Oils. And by Elliotts Trailers, your trailer your way so you can always be a winner.
I'm here with Robert Ahern from Stage 8 Locking Fasteners. Now, Robert, turbochargers are a hot thing right now. What does Stage 8 have for those?
Well, you're right. They are hot, and they get very hot temperature-wise, too. So the difference between a header bolt kit and a turbo kit is going to be all stainless steel hardware. Most turbos are mounted on studs, so we actually have a grooved nut here that works just like our header bolt. You put that over the stud, the stainless steel retainer goes over it right up against the chassis, and then an E-clip goes in to hold it down. It can't come loose. What a lot of people don't realize is that 5 degrees of counter rotation costs you 50% of your clamp value, and you cannot visually see a 5-degree rotation out of 360. Let me step over here now to our spindle nut. A lot of guys are running dual jam nuts here and/or the spindle nuts that have the Allen screws in them. You know, that's just friction. We're trying to clamp on the threads. Ours is a true mechanical lock, and it's a much safer application and much stronger. So basically, the notch washer goes over the keyway on the spindle, the nut goes on, and you set your preload where you want it. And the beauty of the system is when you get your preload set, we'll lock it in that exact position. This is the locking retainer. This is 4130 chrome moly through hardened. So it goes over the nut, and see how it's not engaging here. If you watch these tabs, they walk a little bit every time I turn it. And it will always find itself a spot where it looks like 1 or 2 more, where it drops right down in and engages, and you throw a snap ring over it to hold it in place. Because we don't want you to have to adjust your preload at all. You get it exactly where you want, and we'll lock it there. We do all kinds of things. We actually have a new item for the bicycle industry. This is a locking assembly for square taper cranks, and we've just created a tool so that the home bicycle enthusiast can modify and install this on his own crank with a simple electric drill. We do things for the railroad, we do locking nuts for tracks, we do stuff for locomotive engines, and we've got a new cap screw locking system for rail freight cars.
Check them out at stage8.com.
Well, gee, you know, after a long day here at PRI, it would be really nice to hop in and take a shower, but nah, we'll save that for the parts that are important. And Gary with Gusher Pumps, this just gives you an idea of what's going on inside a parts washer.
Yes, that's correct. It's just demonstrating on what the part would actually see inside a parts washer. That's what we're doing that for.
And you know, whether we're building a dyno or whether we have a parts washer or whatever, we're putting the Gusher pump on there because it's just the pump of choice for so many reasons.
We have a very large selection of pumps that we do for engine dynos, chassis dynos, machine tool, parts washers, paint, you know, that paints the cars before they're actually put the color on. There's 180 different models in our catalog and 15,000 variations of those models. So we build a lot of custom stuff for a lot of specific applications.
Why would the pump be so important on a dyno? And I know you're going to be able to tell me.
Well, the engine dyno and a chassis dynos also have what they call a brake. And that's what loads the motor to test the horsepower. And, you know, we're getting up into the 10,000 horsepower engine dynos, you know, for the locomotives, for the actual tractor trailers, earth movers, and everything else. All these engines have to be put on a dyno before they're put in service. Even the drag racers, NASCAR, they're all use engine dynos every day, so that's what we do. We're not the catalog pump people. We are a pump manufacturer that actually manufactures the pump to specific applications. It's not one you pick a certain part number out of a book and that's what you get, and there's no modification. We actually make a pump directly for your application.
You want to find out more? Website's real easy. It's Gusher.com.
One of the neatest things I've seen is the Speedwire systems, control panels, and the relay switchboards. Tell me about your system, how you come up with this.
Well, basically, we've devised a system that the novice racer can install. Basically, it's a very streamlined installation where you have the data cable from the switch panel to the relay controller to turn on the various relays. There's self-diagnosing capabilities as well on the relay controller that gives you an indication if the fuse is blown or if the relay output is not working.
Now, the Speedwire systems Pro Series 4-stage nitrous boards. Tell me a little bit about these.
This nitrous controller is fully digital. It removes any type of external Digiset style timer, so you have repeat accuracy of the timers activating. The timer system can be set without a laptop, just simply by scrolling down by the selector shaft. There's also different ways that you can manipulate the stages from turning on, for example, from the 1-2 shift, from a ground input, or you can have it so that the third stage can come on before the first stage on different track conditions without changing around the wiring. So it's very, very versatile. These boards are manufactured by us in-house. They're potted in flame-proof epoxy. We have UL rated 94 potting boxes, so everything is heavy duty.
You also have a 3-stage split system.
This is devised more for a limited traction tire application where they want to apply the nitrous stages in left or right side of the motor, front to back. So you have essentially 6 timers that you can control with our nitrous controller, and you can again select it with the shaft encoder to change the time very simply in between the lanes for last minute changes. But unique to this system is when you actually motor purge, you're activating 2 systems at the same time so that that one split system is activated as one. We're racers ourselves, so we put everything that we know that from our experience into designing our systems.
It's simple, anybody can do it. Check out speedwiresystems.com.
Okay, Tommy, we're going to pause now, but we'll have more PRI coverage when we return to Indy.
I'm here with ViKing Performance. Chris, you guys have an array of shocks and springs.
Yeah, the ViKing Performance product line consists of high-performance double adjustable shocks, lightweight high-travel coil springs, and rod end and spherical bearing products. This is our Warrior line of double adjustable shock absorbers, which is a digressively valved shock, and it has 19 positions each of independent compression and rebound tuning. So there's 361 different valving combinations you can get to. If you're looking for force curves outside of the range that the digressive shock can do, now we offer our patent-pending line of Crusader double adjustable shock absorbers, which have 22 positions each of independent compression and rebound tuning. These shock absorbers are basically orifice controlled, and the neat thing about them is they have removable needles and seats.
Now you can do the shock still together.
Correct, that's a real neat thing about it. You just have to get it in a vise and make sure the shock is fully extended, and then you just pull the pieces out of the base and you can easily interchange the needle and seat combination. This is our ViKing Berserker ASM, Active Shock Management System. This comes with a controller at each corner that has an accelerometer, as well as a ride height position sensor. And really the job of this controller is to monitor what's happening at the corner, and there are technological end stops that are built into the program. So this controller knows exactly where the piston is in the shock absorber, how fast the shaft is traveling, how much travel is left, and it could allow the shock to come to a soft stop before ever bottoming out or topping out. The system also has a master controller that's chassis mounted. And the master controller also has an accelerometer and has a steering position sensor as well as yaw rate. So that monitors what's happening at the chassis. So if you're in a braking condition or a steering condition, it'll actually put the correct compression and rebound in the appropriate corners in order to keep the chassis extremely stable. And this valving can actually change up to 1,000 times per second. So it could go from the softest setting to the firmest setting in 10 milliseconds. And down the road, we're going to be adding a smartphone app to provide additional tuning for the user.
Whoever would have thought that you would have an app for your shocks? Technology in the shock industry, check out ViKing Performance Shocks. I think this right here might be what I need for my car.
Something I'm definitely familiar with, and that is fuel injection. And what we're looking at here, we have the mechanical fuel injection, but with Engler Machine and Tool, you found, with your experience, there were some weak links when it came to the fuel injection side of things.
Well, there was. I don't want to badmouth any of my competitors, but as the cylinder heads flowed more and more air, the fuel injection needed to flow equal air to keep up with the cylinder heads. So basically, we tried to design a new product and try to make it so that when you bolted the injector on, you didn't lose any airflow to the cylinder head.
You've dealt so much with the mechanical injection over the years, but the classes that do allow the electronic fuel injection, you got something brand new over here.
We do. It's what we call the electronic fuel injection for the mini sprint. We use a performance electronics package with our fuel injection hardware, and it has really been a very exciting new thing. A lot of the new younger customers, they're more used to using that computer, and it's a very neat deal for the fuel injection market.
Folks want to be able to take advantage of what you have to offer on the track. They can start to do it now on the street too.
That's true. We've been working on some new flathead Ford projects and even small block Chevy projects where we're doing electronic for the street cars, and then we can kind of color coordinate the injection to meet their cars or whatever color the car is to try to make it look appealing so that the street rod fans like that as well.
Yes, they do. The color coordinating stuff and something, you know, if they need some help, maybe tuning things up, want to find out about any of these items, and it sounds like you're always coming up with something new. Where can we find you online?
Well, it is, you go to englermachine.com, and you'll find our website there, and you can give us a call, and be very, very happy to help you in any way.
After the break, I'll bring you the newest idea for extra fuel storage for your truck.
This edition of Performance TV, presented by ARP, is being brought to you by Speedwire Systems, the choice of champions. Profiler Performance Products, proudly made in the USA. Powder X, your source for all your powder coating equipment and training needs. Bruce High Performance Transport, leading the industry since 1981. And by ViKing Performance, specializing in rod ends, spherical bearings, shock absorbers, and springs for high-performance applications.
I'm here with Harry from Miller's Oils. And Harry, tell me about the products Miller's Oils has.
Well, Miller's has been around for 127 years. It actually started to support the textile industry in England. However, it's a rather small company, and that has kind of allowed them to get into some really niche areas, specifically with motorsports as PRI, which is what brings us here. They have a very, very advanced line of motorsports oils.
Martin, you're the technical director of Miller's Oils. What separates Miller's Oils from everybody else? What makes them special?
We're in a unique situation where we're not affiliated to any major oil companies, you know, the ExxonMobils or the Chevrons, and that enables us to shop anywhere that we want to get the best possible raw materials or ingredients. So we source materials here in the US, we source materials in Europe. Our base oils come from all over the world, and we buy the best possible ingredients we can. We do a lot of special oils for certain applications, for some fairly high-end automotive manufacturers who've got real specific requirements. We're small enough and flexible enough to put special products together for that particular environment.
I'm here with Todd Malloy from Brian Herta Autosport. You guys have been using Miller's Oils.
Miller's developed a gearbox racing oil specifically for our IndyCar application for us. You know, we achieved a better gearbox efficiency with their oil than anything we'd seen previously. Up until we switched over fully to the Miller's oils, we would always have to remove the pinion because of pitting. Long before it got mileaged out. And as soon as we transitioned over to the new oil that was developed with Miller's, immediately we got full mileage out of the pinion for the first time ever. It was 190% of the maximum we'd previously achieved. So, you know, the crown wheel and pinion is about the most expensive part in the gearbox, and suddenly we're getting twice the life out of them.
Well, we've learned a lot about Miller's oils, Harry, and where can somebody in the U.S. get this?
At www.performanceracingoils.com. You can go on our website, look up the dealer network, and find someone that may be a little bit closer to you.
Here at the Titan booth, we found how you can extend your truck's range by adding a 30-gallon tank where your full spare-size tire would go. Titan's spare tire auxiliary fuel system, or STAFs. Now, it can effectively double the fuel capacity of an American-made diesel truck. It's lightweight, it's only 30 pounds, and this tank is made of military-grade cross-linked polyethylene, and it doesn't interfere with the hauling capacity since it tucks right up underneath the bed. It's easy enough for one person to mount, and the system includes mounting hardware, valves, pump, and even a universal filter kit with an attractive brushed aluminum door.
Okay, our electronic controller, we wanted to make it as simple as possible, but we also wanted to give the users complete control over how they use their fuel. So our controller setup, this is a gauge on the bottom that shows the level of fuel in the tank, and then everything else is just backlit to show the location of the button and our name. So it's as simple as you push the button, it beeps, a red light comes on to show you that it's pumping fuel, and it will pump until it pumps 5 gallons, and then it shuts itself off automatically. So you don't have to worry about it. Now there's also a manual shut off. You just hit it again to manually shut it off, but otherwise it'll pump for 5 gallons.
What if you're running low on this? Will it stop the pump as well?
Yep, if you're running low, we've designed it to make sure that it never pumps when the tank's empty, so we don't run the pump dry. Now it averages every 4 seconds, so after the average is complete, you'll see the gauge runs empty and the pump shuts itself off.
That's just one of the new products that Titan Fuel Tanks has.
This is our 60-gallon portable mobile fuel caddy. We use it as a shop tool, a way to transfer fuel out of these tanks into a mobile storage unit, gasoline and diesel safe, 15-gallon GPI pump. We got them in AC, we got them in DC. Same warranty on the tank body that all the rest of our stuff carries, all powder coated, really nice setup. You can transfer from vehicle to vehicle. You can transfer from vehicle to tank or tank to vehicle.
Want to find out about any of these particular products that you guys are showing off here today? Where can we find you on the web?
TitanFuelTanks.com.
Well, we're all out of time for this edition of Performance TV, but we have a lot more PRI show to cover, and we'll do that next week. See you then.